राधा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय ऑल द assembled devotees की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to all of you and welcome to our Bhagavatam class. We are in the last stretch of second chapter. We need to start from second canto, second chapter, verse number 34 onwards. Thank you, Mataji, for posting. Yes, Mataji, somebody please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 34. Bhagavan Brahmakatsnena Triranvikshya Manishaya Tadatyavasyat Kutasto Ratiratmanyato Bhavet. Translation by His Divine Grace, Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. The great personality Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times, and after scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. Thank you and Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So in this section, Sukadeva Goswami is summarizing. He has first started in the first chapter glorifying the supremacy of bhakti. Even in the second chapter also, yeah. Even though he started off, in the first chapter he started off because he's explaining it in the process, right? First chapter he started off explaining the supremacy of bhakti. Then he started explaining Ashtanga Yoga. And in the Ashtanga Yoga, he has explained the yogi whose desires are not yet gone yet. So what is his destination? That's what we have seen in the Krama Mukti path. It's a very tedious path, and he has to wait for so long. Of course, if he wishes, he can exit any point. That is also there. But you otherwise it's a Kama Mukti is a very slow and tedious path. That path is glorious. Reason is because finally he will reach the Lord only. And he has also discussed about the Paramatma yogi, Paramatma meditation yogi, whose desires are gone, and so when desires are gone, he can directly perceive the Lord, and what is his way of destination also he has explained. And finally, when after explaining both, he is glorifying. Sukdev Goswami is again summarizing by glorifying the supremacy of bhakti. So in that context, we have seen yesterday that he has started off explaining how easy it is to do bhakti and how direct this process is, and how, the Lord will help in this process. So in that context, 34th one, Lord Brahma carefully studied the Vedas again and again. After examining everything, he concluded loving attraction and devotion to Lord Krishna is the highest goal of religion and life. So here we know that Brahma is the first Vedic authority. Brahma is the first created being. When everything finishes off and at the Garbhodaka Sai level, creation is done, in the first person who appears from the Garbhodaka Sai's navel is a lotus sprouts out and Brahma appears. So he's the first created being, and he is the first teacher of Vedas. He was taught by Krishna. Directly he was taught by Krishna. So his conclusion is definitely very authoritative. Brahma studied Vedas 3 times. This shows he did not blindly accept. He analyzed everything in deep. He analyzed it deeply like a scholar. He wanted to find the real purpose of all scriptures. So, final conclusion of Brahma is, after fully studying, Brahma concluded that pure devotion, bhakti to Krishna, directly to Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. Not karma, not gnana, not yoga, not heaven, or not even liberation also. So, this matches Bhagavad Gita 1866 when Krishna says, surrender to me alone. Bhagavad Gita, this is a final message. 1866 is Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mascha. Krishna is assuring that surrender to me. You are not able to do some dharmas, you are able to do some dharmas, you are not able to do properly in certain areas, and in certain areas you are good at. Forget all that. Even if you are not good at something, even if you are good at something, bhakti is not at all asking for any prerequisites. Bhakti is not asking for any pre-qualification. Like karmis, like if you take karmis, the pre-qualification is they should at least do varnashrama dharma. Correct? Then only for karmis also, karmakanda rituals, for doing karmakanda rituals, they should at least be following varnashrama dharma. That is a prerequisite. That means what Varnashrama Dharma means? They should not be in the animalistic propensity. They should at least be like humans. Humans should do Varnashrama Dharma, occupational duties. And for a yogi, we have seen what are the prerequisites. Pratyahara level, all the senses should be under control, and they should not let the mind and intelligence go in a way they want to. Everything should be controlled, and all these prerequisites are there. And for a gnani, the prerequisite is not even any desire towards his body also. For at least grihastha, that is better. A person, I'm not talking about grihastha, varna, sorry. So gnani, for the gnani, the prerequisite is he should not have any desires at all. He should not have the body conscious, otherwise he will fall down. For him, having at least body consciousness is sin. It is sin. So therefore, there also pre-qualifications are needed. For bhakti, you can have desires, you can, don't have to have senses under control. You don't have to have anything what these people are doing. Who is automatically doing? All you have to do is chanting and do bhakti. Who is doing all this process for you? Krishna is doing in the back end. Like yesterday we had a question that what Mataji, we are in the household, we are grahastas, we will have desires. Definitely. Even I also have. Everybody have. All of us have. Why? Because we have children, we have family, we have things to take care of. So we have desires. So is having desire not allowed in bhakti? No, Krishna never said that. All we have to do is ask Krishna, not anybody else. Like ask Krishna for help. If Krishna pleases, he will help. If Krishna thinks that is not needed, he will not. But ultimately, the control is in Krishna's hand. So in bhakti, what is allowed? Everything is allowed. You can have any type of consciousness, no problem. In the back end, cleaning is happening. You are not doing it, nobody is doing it. Krishna is doing it. All you have to do is chant the mantra, listen to the mantra. And when the mantra reaches your heart, Krishna is going sitting there, he is cleaning all the anarthas, and eventually, slowly, you yourself will observe that you are not having any desires. Compare it to coming into Krishna consciousness. Yes, there is world of difference in you and in me, in everyone. Like how we used to ask, we used to have desires, definitely it has gone down. So cling on to this process, keep doing this sadhana. Definitely a state will come. If Krishna thinks that you should leave things, you don't have to do it, Krishna will make sure that you do it. That's why bhakti is highest. That's why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya, mamekam sharanam vaja. Leave everything just to surrender on to me. I will make sure that you are not affected by anything. So this is the final message of all Vedas. Now, who rejects this conclusion? Definitely Vedavada Rathas. Why who are Vedavada Rathas? Vedavada Rathas are those people who study Vedas and they imagine and they speculate in their own imagination. They take what is conducive for their understanding and they leave the rest. So these people who only like rituals, who only like words and arguments, but miss the real purpose. That's why these people are called Vedavada Rathas. And Vedas are like a huge library. Brahma read the entire library and wrote the final summary. The final summary is love Krishna, serve Krishna, everything else is secondary. And any attraction to Krishna is emphasized. Why attraction to only Krishna is emphasized? Because knowledge without love is dry, yoga without love is mechanical, rituals without love are empty, love is the ultimate spiritual energy. So, how we can understand this is imagine a huge textbook with thousands of pages. At the end, the author writes, the main lesson is love God. Brahma is confirming this summary. See, when even in Bhagavatam, what is the last sloka of Bhagavatam? Last sloka of Bhagavatam is whenever I finish puja, I remember, but then separately I don't remember. One second, Mataji. So no, 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 no. What is that? Oh my God, I forgot, Mataji. Every day, whenever I finish puja, I do circumambulation and bow down, then I remember it.
Maybe you remember, recall the previous sloka, then it will come naturally.
No, Mataji, this standalone the shloka, very important shloka. No, no, Sarva. One second, Mataji, 1 second, I'll be back. I'll ask for Prabhuji. last shloka ఏంటి?
నామ సంకీర్తనం యస్య.
Okay, thank you. I remember. Mataji, sorry, I went to ask Prabhuji. Yeah, the shloka is Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarapapa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanam Tannamami Harim Param. This is the last shloka of Bhagavatam. I'll again repeat. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarapapa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanam Tannamami Harim Param. So he is giving the just in the last shloka and he is finally saying that Nama Sankirtanam Yasya. By doing the chanting the names of Lord, Sarva Papa Pranashanam. All the papas, whatever Sanchita karma, that karma, this karma, everything will be gone. Pranamo Dukkha Shamanam. When you just by bowing down in front of Krishna, Dukkha Shamanam, Tannamami Harim Param. So this is what the Lord is concluding. This is the last shloka of Bhagavatam. So, after studying all Vedas, Brahma concluded pure devotion to Krishna is the highest religion and the ultimate goal of life. And how this connects, to Ashtanga Yogi, we've studied Ashtanga Yogi traveling planets, Gnani merging into Brahman. And here the devotee, on the other hand, Brahma's conclusion is all these paths are ultimately meant to bring the soul to bhakti. If that is not there, whatever procedure he is doing is simply waste. So Vedas are many, but their message is one: become a lover and a servant of Krishna. Next one.
भगवान् सर्वभूतेषु लक्षितः स्वात्मना हरिः दृश्यैर्बुद्ध्यादिभिर्द्रष्टा लक्ष्यणैरनुमापकैः. The personality of Godhead Lord Sri Krishna is in every living being, also along with individual soul. And this fact is perceived and hypothesized in our acts of seeing and taking help from the intelligence. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Krishna lives in every living being along with the individual soul as a Paramatma. And we can understand his presence by using our intelligence and by observing how we think, how we act, and how we understand things. Our intelligence before, when Lord was just a observer, was different. And our intelligence after surrendering to the Lord and taking the guidance from the Lord is different, because now the guidance is there. Before, he was just a witness. So that's the difference. As a witness, the Lord, of course, he sanctions every desire of you, every desire of every living being. Ultimately, the sanctioner is Lord. Until he sanctions, we cannot do anything. So he's a sanctioner. Yes, agreed. He's a witness. Yes, agreed. That way he is accompanying everybody. But where is guidance coming? The moment we surrender, guidance comes. So Lord is eternal loving Father. So people often say, I cannot see God. So how can I believe in him or serve him? So here, Prabhupada is explaining very nicely in the purport that first thing is, when you say you say my hand, my head, my body, that itself shows that you are not the owner of the body, correct? You cannot say this hand is me. You say it's my hand, my leg, my body. So who is you? When you are saying my, who is that my? So definitely you are the spirit soul. That itself shows that you are not body. And so body works because of intelligence. You see things, you think, you move, you speak, you decide. All this is happening because of intelligence and mind, which come from definitely from Lord, from the nature. But intelligence itself needs a guide. That guide, there is someone guiding your intelligence, just like a father guides a child. So Paramatma, the soul, guides the super soul, guides the soul from within the heart. So inside you, you are three things. There are three things, which is matter, which is your body, individual soul, which is your Atma, and super soul, which is Lord inside you. So these three things are there in the body. Then only it works. So we have free choice. Lord gives us intelligence, but you decide how to use it. You follow material desires, thinking I am the body, or you follow spiritual truth, realizing I am the soul, Lord is my guide. So this free choice is given to everybody. And so if we practice and then think that, okay, so yes, I want to go in this path. So realization comes a step by step. First, you realize you are not this body. Then you realize Lord is inside you. Finally, you realize, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and I have to surrender to him. So this is that's why always we take this example, GPS in the car. The car is your body, driver is the soul, and the GPS system is super soul, Lord. So you can drive anywhere, but GPS gives direction. If you follow the GPS, you reach the right destination. If you ignore it, you get lost. Similarly, Lord gives intelligence and guidance inside our heart. If we follow him, we reach spiritual perfection. So that's why Lord is not far away, and intelligence is always divine guidance. The divine guidance is there, and always remember that you are never alone. Lord is always with you. And true freedom is always choice, because he believes in love. He loves you. He loves me. That's why he gives freedom. That freedom is always there. And so, this one super soul is not just a witness. He is your best friend. He waits patiently until you turn towards him. The moment you pray, you turn towards him, he begins guiding you more clearly. Next one.
तस्मात् सर्वात्मना राजन् हरिः सर्वत्र सर्वदा श्रोतव्या कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यो भगवान् नृणाम्. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. This is Sukadeva Goswami's style. He actually declares and then he goes into depth and then he again summarizes or he again takes the point which he has started with. So if anybody can open, Mataji, please open this sloka in the first chapter, which is 2.1.5, second canto, first chapter, fifth sloka. Anybody can read, please read. So here, in the meanwhile, you open it. I'm again repeating this. Tasmat sarvatma rajan, haris sarvatra sarvada, srotavya, kirtavyascha, smartavyo bhagavan nranam. So this is the shloka which we started with. Again, we are ending with. So here he is saying, O king, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Anybody opened, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, I opened.
Okay, read, Mataji. Read the shloka.
Yeah. तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः श्रोतव्या कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्.
See, that's all.
Translation. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries.
See, this is why he has started there with this and again ending with it. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Hari Sotravya Kirtavyascha Smartavyascha Chechathabhyam. And here he's saying Srotavya, same thing. Tasmat Sarvatma Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada Srotavya Kirtavyascha Smartavyo Bhagavan Rasham. So this is Nrinam, sorry. So this is the common thing, So he started off there and then he is concluding with that. So here, Bhakti Yoga is the only real path to salvation. That's what. So Sukadeva Goswami says, therefore, because he already explained earlier in 2.1.5 and many shlokas before Canto also, but again, because we have studied just now, that's why I'm quoting these two. So these two are common. What are the common things? Srotavya, Kirtavyascha, Smartavyo, Bhagavan Ranam. So Srotavya means what? Hearing. Kirtavya is glorifying. Smartavya is remembering the Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So that's why, of course, there are 9 ways of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Even any one of these sincerely practiced can give perfection. Here, hearing is the most important of all. Without hearing about Lord, you cannot understand him. You cannot remember him. You cannot love him. This is not there. So why? That is why scriptures are emphasizing this point very, this is a very important anga of bhakti, hearing. Because human life is special, animals cannot hear spiritual knowledge. Only humans can understand Lord's teachings. So hearing about Lord is a special duty of human beings. It's not by choice. It's not when rules are made, you have a choice to follow the rule or not, right? Here, we should not give that choice of not following. Because we are humans, it is our duty to hear. And of course, on the other hand, a wrong hearing also degrades. That is also there. If people should stop hearing wrong things that will not, like gossip, like violence and lustful or meaningless media, this lowers the spiritual and moral level of civilization. So hearing is important, but hearing about Lord, hearing about, hearing that leads to chanting and remembering. When you hear from a pure source, you naturally talk about Lord, glorify him, think about him. Great saints and teachers in all the scriptures have said this, and they did this exactly. So Lord is everywhere, so glorify him every time. And this is Sanatana Dharma. And so, how we can understand this is when we are watering a plant, hearing about the Lord is pouring water on the root. Chanting and remembering is like the leaves and the flowers which are growing. And love and peace are the fruits of the plant. If you don't water the root at all, which is hearing, naturally the plant dies, the spiritual life dies. So therefore, this is very important. And why hearing is more powerful than meditation? Why hearing is a very important thing? Because hearing directly touches the heart, not just the mind. Meditation mostly works on mind, yes, agreed, trying to control thoughts and all that. But hearing about Krishna goes straight to the soul, it goes straight to the heart. So, this divine sound carries a spiritual power, not just information. Hearing is easy, meditation is difficult on the other way. We have seen in the Ashtanga Yoga, right? So, hearing just to hear with sincerity, you can do it anywhere, while walking, while sitting, while working. Even a beginner can feel spiritual effect. And in Kali Yuga, minds are restless. So, meditation is hard. Like Ashtanga Yogi, hearing is easy. And hearing is one main anga of the Bhakti. Parikshit Maharaj got Godhead. He went back to Godhead just by hearing. So, Krishna's name, Krishna's words, and stories are non different from Krishna. So, pastimes of Krishna are Krishna only. Chanting is Krishna only. When you hear, you are directly associating with Krishna. That's why hearing is direct contact with the Lord. Hearing automatically leads to everything else. So when you hear about Krishna, you start thinking about him. But if you don't hear and artificially do the meditation, how can we remember Krishna? It's very hard. That's why we have seen in the Krama Mukti, it takes lifetimes. So therefore, hearing is a natural meditation without force. Hearing cleans the heart automatically because, hearing washes away the dirt. That's why Bhagavatam calls Krishna Katha a nectar. Hearing is recommended for Kali Yuga because people are busy, minds are distracted, life is short. So, scriptures say, Hear Baba, chant about the Lord. And this is the easiest path, it is the more powerful path. So, this is what 37 Mataji.
पिबन्ति ये भगवता आत्मनः सतं कदामृतं श्रवणपूतेषु संभर्तं पुनान्ति ते विषयविदूषिताश्रयं व्रजन्ति च चरणसरोरुवहान्तिकम्. Translation: those who drink through oral reception fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here, those who hear the sweet nectar-like stories and teachings about Lord Krishna with full attention, what happens to them? They become purified from desire, from material enjoyment. So yesterday we were discussing it is very hard to leave the desires. Yes, it is hard, but then that naturally happens. We don't have to do artificially. How that is naturally happening? We will slowly lose interest in the world. We will slowly lose interest on the people. We will slowly lose interest on our own people also. That happens, like bare minimum necessities, bare minimum things. Like we are not interested like before to go and meet everybody, greet everybody, have a big circle. We're not interested in all that. If some time is given, we feel like, yeah, I'll nicely, happily sit quietly, simply chant. So that thinking will come, definitely will come. Why it will come? Because Krishna is making sure that happens. So hearing about Krishna with full attention, what is happening? We become purified from the desire of material enjoyment. Then we turn to Lord, to his lotus feet. So the main problem of human life is wrong goal of life. People think I must have a big circle. I must have lot of people, lot of things, lot. But remember one thing in life is for every person in the last minute, yes, agreed, associating with devotees is important. I agree. I'm not talking about that. But then there also, if you are discussing about Krishna, if it is helping you in your spiritual life, if it is pushing you towards Krishna, and if it is pushing you towards, becoming a good devotee, then do it. Otherwise, even if others are not doing it, try to bring the topic of Lord. Try to talk it, because I feel it personally, Mataji, that life is ticking away. Ages, we are we are in 50s, and we don't know how much time we have. So if we have so many things in our mind, at the end of the life, while giving up the body, all the things, whatever we have done with conscious liking, will come in front of our eyes, will pass, that real will pass through. I have seen so many people doing this. Even my own father-in-law I've personally seen, because I used to be right next to him. And I have seen him talking things. He was engineer in a pharmaceutical company. At times he used to talk about, did the electrician come? Did he fix the chamber? Because tomorrow morning we have to start. Processing didn't happen till now. I'm like, what are you saying? He's not unconscious, but he's talking all this. And he's talking about things like, my sister-in-law's friends. Madhavi came. Did you tell Sharda? Go give her coffee. This also he was talking. So this is like, oh my God, these are we think that these are simple things. What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong, but consciousness. What you do the most, that you remember. So when I looked at these people, I'm like, my God, we have to do bhakti and very minimal of things of like, if it is really needed, yes, talk. If it is really needed, give. Of course, this is not for everyone, but only for people who are very serious, who wants to like, go back home, back to Godhead. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is also prescribing this. Prabhupada is also prescribing. So what is the best thing to do? Yes, we consciously with heart and liking what you do, that's what you remember. If that is bhakti, then you remember bhakti. If that is not bhakti, if it is time pass, that time pass only you will remember. So this we have to be very careful. So I must like, the biggest problem in the wrong goal of life is people think I must enjoy, I must have group, I must have money, I must have power. When I walk in the temple, everybody should greet me, everybody should smile at me. If they are not doing smile, I feel that they are doing Vaishnava Aparadh. No, this type of thinking should stop. Like, don't bother about anybody, just to bother about your destination, because we don't know when it is. We don't know when it is our last minute. So always have that in mind. Because many people, like, in our culture, South Indian culture, if we listen about dying, if we listen about these days, they say that apashakunam, మాట్లాడుకో, like that they'll say. They call it like, that's a wrong way of thinking. No, that's in fact the right way of thinking, because we don't know when we go away. So this is like, Mataji, people think that I must enjoy more, I must enjoy money, power, comfort, and control nature, control everybody. If someone is new, I show them that I'm a very great devotee and I'm a senior and all that. No, all that should stop. We know what we are from inside, and we should have a direct link only with Krishna and minimize everything. Like, yes, of course, do it. I'm not saying don't do, but minimize, at least in the mind, minimize. Don't let anybody come into your consciousness. Only in the mind should be filled only with Krishna. That's why, see, even in the Shraddha ceremony, actually, when Brahmin comes to our house, he's from Sisampradaya. I really like his way of teaching things. While doing, he teaches. He was telling that, when we do this karmas also, what is recorded, or what is like, the process to say that, yeah, you have done perfectly, is even if you don't like your mother-in-law or your father-in-law or whoever the person who has departed, but the procedure is what matters. Bhava doesn't matter there. Bhava is only for Krishna. He told very nicely at that point. I really liked. So even if you don't like that person whom you are working for, the discipline or the karma only counts. If you have done everything properly, offered everything properly, if mantras are right, perfect, marks are given. You don't have to love them, or you don't have to have bhava there. Why? Because that's a karma kanda. That is your duty. But where the mind should be given, mind should be given to Krishna. Who should be in your mind always? Krishna should be in the mind. Don't let anybody enter your consciousness. This you have to always remember. If you have any differences with anybody, work it out. Say sorry, finish it off. While chanting, they should not come into your mind. If you love everybody, if you love somebody, very nice, it can stay. While chanting, they should not come into your mind. So remember, mind is only for Krishna, heart is only for Krishna. All the emotions are for Krishna, and there is only one emotion we will show outside, that is respect for everybody and a nice smile. We are not letting anybody's thoughts affect us, anybody's gestures affecting us, because we are serious about our goal. This is what we need to remember. So yeah, material enjoyment increases suffering. That's why Prabhupada is very nicely emphasizing this point. And real happiness is plain living, high thinking. Plain living is simple lifestyle. High thinking is thinking about the Lord and the spiritual truth. This is a true perfection of human life. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is like a torchlight in the darkness, because if we hear, Srimad Bhagavatam is a lamp in the darkness showing the real path of life, how to live. It straight away gives us the point. These are the tips which we need to remember. And hearing Krishna's message always purifies the heart. When we regularly hear about Krishna's name, qualities, pastimes, the desire to dominate everyone, the desire to have more and more people, more and more things will disappear. Eventually, slowly it will disappear. And heart becomes peaceful and joyful even when no one is there. And believe me, the symptom is you start enjoying your own company. You don't want anybody around you. You like chanting. So these are like small, small symptoms which happens. So bhakti works directly. You don't need complicated meditation or philosophy. Just hearing with devotion and directly chanting the mantra, that cleans the heart. So this is like, your heart is a dirty water example. And material desires are dirt and poison inside. Hearing about Krishna is like a water filter. When you pour water through the filter, it becomes clean. Similarly, hearing Krishna Katha cleans the mind, it cleans the desires also. And the summary is, the wrong goal in the life is enjoying matter. Maza aa gaya. That maza aa gaya feeling should, you should get when you're chanting, when you are hearing, when you are reading. That should shift here. It should, it should not be more towards the material side. It should be towards here, this side, spiritual side. And the right goal is hearing about Krishna, purification, return to God. This should be our goal. And hearing alone is powerful enough to transform our life. I will stop here, Mataji. I've taken extra time, sorry. Any questions, comments, or any points anybody has, please go ahead. Okay, Mataji. If there-
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Go ahead.
It's also said that the chanting of the name should happen continuously in a natural way.
If we practice 16 rounds, naturally it will come, Mataji. Slowly it will come. See,
All
before
through
the
the
thing,
day, that is.
Mataji, many devotees, did you see, if they get hurt, they say, "Oh Krishna," they say.
Yes, that happens, but
That
continuously
is,
they say, even though you're like Janabai, even though she's doing all mundane work, inside the chanting is happening continuously. That I don't know, Mataji, nowhere near. I don't know how to attend
don't
that.
feel that way. One thing remember, see, one example is when you are going in the flight and there is heavy turbulence. What will you do then? You are definitely chanting, right? You will chant, right?
Correct.
So while dying, what happens if you trained your mind in such a way that chanting is alone thing which helps me? You are not able to do. I agree. You are able to do only few rounds, or in the sense what I mean to say, even if you are doing 32, that is also few only, correct? So even 48 is also few only, 64 also few only. So that way, if you're feeling sad, I'm not able to do more, but because you are chanting at least that and you firmly believe in this, it's a vulnerable point in your life where you are helpless and you know that nothing is working out. Continuous chanting will come, Mataji. So this is what you are training for that moment. So it doesn't matter. But yes, consciously you have to feel bad that you are not able to chant. Whenever you remember, you have to chant. Like at least say Krishna, Krishna or something. At least do. But have the feeling, feel bad for not able to do.
Yes.
In that period when you are helpless, nothing is working out, you're not even eating anything, not drinking anything, the only thing what you remember is chanting.
Yeah, but I also have the fear, Mataji, but when physical pain comes, at that time we should focus on chanting.
Mataji,
Many people say that it's very difficult at that time.
No, I don't know if you have seen that person, Krishna Priya, Mataji, anybody in the temple, she comes here. Krishna Priya's father-in-law, he comes to our temple too, but now they have joined him in Florida ashram. Him and his wife, we know them from California, so they were very good devotees. So they met with an accident. Mataji passed away in that accident, and Prabhuji lost his remembrance. That Prabhuji slowly, while that afterwards he became okay, again he lost. So thing is, the only thing what he remembers is Krishna, Mataji. Can you believe it? The only thing what he remembers is chanting. The only thing, like, I saw him after so many years. I ran to him and I was trying to connect with him. He didn't recognize me. He was looking at me and he smiled. Hare Krishna Mataji, my parents are there. Can you call them? He asked me. I said, who are your parents? Then he showed me his son-in-law and daughter-in-law. He's calling
Oh.
them as parents. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, what a change. And I asked them, yes, she said, yes, this is what he does. He remembers only Krishna chanting, and he attends Aarti and he calls the children as parents. So I'm like,
Hmm.
wow, when you are not in a situation where you can help yourself, Krishna helps, Mataji.
Hmm.
There are live
Hmm.
examples in front of us. So we
Hmm.
should believe this process, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Nice sharing. Very, very, very
Sure,
consoling.
Mataji. Next time, if I see him, I will show you. If you are
Sure.
around me, I'll show
Sure,
you.
Mataji.
Yeah, okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. You always say that, right, Vagisha Mataji, that Krishna always, like, he preserves what you have and he gives you what you are lacking. You always say that, right,
Yogakshema.
Mataji? I just,
Yogakshema.
I just remembered that thing, like what you
Yes,
always
Mataji.
share in the class.
Yes, yes. He's a
With
loving
with the
father.
story, with the live experience that you have shared about the Prabhuji who lost his remembrance.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Correct. This is our hope, only hope, Mataji. We are just doing sadhana. It's up to him what he has planned. But anyway, he is free to do whatever he wants. Our duty is only to, while we remember, while we have strength, while we have things under control, we should do it with consciousness. When nothing is under our control, then Krishna will take charge. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Mataji. You're
Yeah.
so right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mataji. Yeah. Hare
Wonderful
Krishna,
class,
Mataji.
Mataji, today.
Thank you, Mataji. Whenever Bhakti part comes, it comes from the heart for all of us. So
Yeah.
that's okay, Mataji.
Particularly after that Ashtanga Yoga,
Ah,
that
yeah, that
part
was
was
little
over.
dry.
We are connecting a lot actually, right now, Mataji.
Yes,
So when the
yes, correct.
Ashtanga Yoga process was happening now, it was very hard, to grasp what you are saying. And
Yes, and
now we are in the flow, actually. We are back in the flow with
we
you.
are back because this is what we practice, and we
Yeah.
can connect more to this. So,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for
Yeah. Thank
nice
you.
questions and
Thank you,
nice
Mataji.
Vedanta.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji, for a
Hare
wonderful
Krishna.
class. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna. Thank
Mataji.
you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.